and YouTube as well. Hi, everyone. Hi, this is Marina Shepelsky coming to you from New York City. Well, to be quite frank with you, I'm actually coming to you from New Jersey, from my home office. But our office is in New York City, so we work physically. When I go to the office, which is now 2-3 times a week, um, it's physically in New York City and remotely. So this is where people want to come and see me in person. It's in New York City, in Brooklyn, and remotely is from New Jersey. So I'm doing my show today from my home office in New Jersey. Very happy to be home and be able to get a cup of coffee just walking over to the kitchen. So I hope everybody's having a good week. Today is Friday. In America, we say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I hope you guys have great plans for this weekend, as do I. I have a meeting, like a friendly lunch with my colleague here in New Jersey who does New Jersey litigation for divorces. So if you have a divorce issue, we're going to be working together with a wonderful lady who's a shark here in New Jersey, the way we are in New York. And so we can, help our clients the best way we can. Immigration, however, we do it all in our office for all the 50 states. And we're happy to help you no matter where you are in the United States. You could be in Nebraska, you could be in Vermont, you could be in Hawaii, you could be anywhere in the United States. We're happy to help you because everything is more or less virtual now. Immigration courts announced that because of the rise in the Omicron variant COVID cases in the United States, they're going virtual. So all hearings, masters, individuals, for now, for the foreseeable future, will be done just like this remotely by every state's immigration court in the next few months. I don't know how long that's going to last. So that means if you have a lawyer and you're not happy with them in your state, we're happy to help you. It doesn't matter that we are in New York. We can work on your case remotely. We can prepare you for your court case. We can do your court case from New York. So that's something different. Also, interestingly enough, I think we can now call experts from other countries and other states to testify by camera, which is really cool, not something we were able to do before. So now the whole hearing, including maybe your friends or neighbors or relatives in your country in your asylum case, if you want to call them to be a witness in your case and to tell the judge why you should not come back to your country because you'll be persecuted there, abused, beaten up, arrested, detained, whatever, you can now do this just like this on camera. They can testify on camera through, I guess, Zoom. They're using something called Webex. But I guess you could log in through Zoom into Webex for immigration court, and there you go. For people who have no attorney, just because they're switching to this new way of operating, all immigration courts are going to be operating virtually. I'm kind of repeating because I'm waiting for some people to join us and log in. If you have a hearing and you have no lawyer, it's called being pro se. You have no lawyer, they're automatically rescheduling your case. So please make sure you Google automated immigration court system. You put your alien number in there and you see when your next court date is using your individual alien number. Everyone has an alien number who's in immigration court. Okay, so if you don't have a lawyer, it's almost 100% guarantee your case got bumped to a different date because of this new system. If you do have a lawyer, please keep in contact with your lawyer. But it's actually not a bad idea for anyone with an immigration court hearing to just go online and check your next court hearing date. And many of you will be surprised and shocked to learn your date was moved and no one told you. So that's what they're doing now. They're not telling people, but they're rescheduling people and moving things around on calendars of judges. Please, 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 I beg you, if you have an immigration court case, go online, Google automated immigration court, look up your alien number. It's 3 + 2 plus 3, I guess what, 8, 9, it's 9 digits, and put in your number and see where your next court hearing was bumped to, because it probably was bumped. I have comments coming in, guys. Be a little bit patient. I promise I will answer as many as I can at the end of this show. It's a Q&A, and nothing said in the show is direct legal advice. This is only educational information. I invite you to call our team. We have a big team in our office of specialists who specialize in the kind of case you have when you call for a paid consultation, and we're working on something exciting in the office. For us, it's exciting. I'm just a geek a little bit here, but we're going to be able to schedule people by having them click on a link soon, because people are always asking me how to contact us. Instead of the boring old phone call, soon you'll be able to just click on a link, choose the calendar date yourself that you are comfortable with when you can do your consultation with us, and pay online and register, get the Zoom link right away, and have your consultation scheduled in your time, when you are comfortable, when you can do it. So I'm excited. We're working on that with our IT team, which is also international. I work with people from all over. We have people working for our law firm from Philippines, from Ukraine, from Russia. We have people doing consultations remotely when they're in Texas, when they're in another state, New Jersey, New York. So this is exciting times for us to practice law, because immigration law is federal, and we truly are able to cover all the states, because we even have people in our office working from different states with you guys. So anyway, I'm geeking out on that, spending too much time, but it's exciting for me. Let me get to my topics that I had planned for today. So first of all, let's talk about the Build Back Better, BBB proposed law, right? The proposed bill, proposed meaning it's just a suggestion for now. It's not a real law yet. So U.S. Congress has been talking about passing this financial money bill for federal spending, how the government is going to spend money next year. And because Biden, our president, promised immigrants to pass a law this year doing some kind of immigration reform, he didn't really get into details, but many people said legalizing undocumented people, fixing the delays, asylum system is completely backlogged, immigration court system completely backlogged, right? So all of that he promised to fix. That's why they tried to squeeze it in to this financial bill. And everybody's up in arms about it, really hoping that it's going to pass. But my personal opinion, which obviously I support with reading news, is that it's probably not going to pass. They already cut down the things they promised, right? They promised that it was going to be a real immigration reform, like getting green cards for people. But that already was cut out, even from the proposal, even from the suggestion, it was cut out. But the next step of this is even legalizing people who are here from before 2011, sorry. So they said, okay, let's try to legalize everyone who came before January 2011 by giving them a work permit, not like fully giving them a green card, making them green card holders, but just giving them a green card, taking some visas from last year that were unused and using them on people who are waiting for family petitions and work petitions for way too long. Let's use that and let's help people. But I think because of all the other provisions in that bill, which has nothing to do with immigration, but has to do with exorbitant spending, a lot of money that they're planning to spend that frankly America doesn't have, right? Well, a lot of Democratic senators that we were hoping would support us are not supporting this bill. Like the senator from West Virginia, who's a very powerful senator, and he was really the last to say his opinion. Is he going to vote for this or not? So he recently said he's not going to vote for the bill in the way it is right now. Nothing to do with immigration because of the money parts. And because of that, the things with immigration might not make it through. So a lot of people are not super hopeful that the immigration part will pass. However, at the same time that this is happening, they are talking about some other immigration reform, which, you know, it's not what you guys are interested in, but it's definitely in the news. They're proposing in the US Congress to make a separate law about making the immigration judges independent from the ICE prosecutors, the ICE chief counsel trial attorneys, that basically, if you're in immigration court, they're our adversaries, which means the judge and the prosecutor work for the same guy. They work for the same agency right now, which is the EOIR. So there's a law being proposed to separate them, make judges independent, like every other judge in other, you know, legal systems in the United States, like, I don't know, unemployment or any other independent judge. The judges should not be working for the same people who are deporting people, right? Because if you ask the judge for a decision, you hope that they're not going to be on the side of ICE and they're not going to be on the side of immigrants. They're going to be neutral. So when you present your case, they'll make their decision based on law, not because they work for the same people that the deporters are working for. So that's now, as Article 1 of Immigration Courts, being discussed in US Congress. That's in the news, being discussed. And maybe if we start with that, that will get us on the way to making immigration a separate issue and making immigration reform that has to do with legalizing people in America today. But it's a huge political issue. The Republicans are definitely against it. They don't want to reward people for crossing the border illegally, sneaking in here, overstaying their visas, breaking visa laws. And many people who are just regular Americans do not understand the difference between criminal law and somebody who crossed the border and gets arrested and put in immigration jail. They think since they're in jail, they are criminals. But many people who are in immigration jails are not criminals. They didn't do anything criminal. So there you go. Okay, so we discussed okay, so another thing that's happening in February is that immigration courts will now only accept digital documents, which means anything you're going to send them, you have to scan and upload into a portal. That's also great because they used to lose everybody's documents, lose files, never be able to find a file. Now everyone will be seeing the same thing on their screen, and hopefully everyone will be on time and your case is not going to be lost and forgotten. Okay, I want to talk briefly about something that came up on TikTok, but people are also asking me on YouTube. Okay, so when Trump was still president last year, they made a change with the work permit system, the work authorization. Basically, it was to stop rewarding people who file for asylum just to get the work permit, okay? So they made this change that anybody filing for asylum from the date you file has to wait 365 days to file for a work permit for anybody who filed for asylum before 1 year from the last entry into the United States. Anybody who files after 1 year or after 2 years, anybody who's not timely with filing their asylum application doesn't even have a right to have any kind of a work permit anymore. You have to wait to get to the immigration judge to ask permission, right? This made, also they got rid of the rule that USCIS must, by law, mandatory, produce your work permit within 30 days of applying, okay? So those are the important changes that were made. Before this, anybody who filed for asylum after 180 days of waiting was able to file for the work permit. So they went from 180 days to a whole year for people filing on time, and anybody who files later than a year can't even get it at all, okay? So then two major organizations that are asylum fighters called Casa de Maryland, it's a Maryland organization for asylum seekers, and another one called ASAP, sued the federal government. And because of the injunction, which is the federal court saying, hold on, I haven't made a decision yet, but until the end, this is what you guys are going to do. Anybody who becomes a class member of Casa de Maryland or ASAP and has proof they get a card for membership can now file for asylum under the old rules. The old rules was anyone filing for asylum after 180 days can get a work permit, EAD, okay? So people ask me to explain how this works. If you want to file for your work permit while you're waiting for asylum, you join Casa de Maryland. I think it's $40. They're accepting people from all over the United States, or free membership from ASAP. You talk to them, you call them, you register online, you fill out your information online. They mail you or email you your membership card. And with that, you apply for EAD as the asylum seeker using that exemption, okay, using that exclusion that you'll be treated differently if you're a member of Casa de Maryland or ASAP membership filing for work permit while waiting for asylum. This way you don't need the new rules. You can still file under old rules. Now, the thing that they promised to do about getting everybody work permit real quick if you're part of this class, not going to work. I'm going to tell you right now, it's still going to take a long time to get that work permit, but at least you'll get it by applying early. They won't deny you if you applied before 1 year from filing for asylum. So that's all I'm going to say about the Casa de Maryland and ASAP membership. Find them online. Just Google it, Casa space D space Maryland or ASAP membership, and just become a member. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Another question I got on TikTok, and let me just say a couple of words before I start answering your questions, is what is VAWA? I talk about VAWA all the time. A lot of my colleagues, other good immigration attorneys, talk about VAWA. VAWA, real quick, is short for Violence Against Women Act. It's for men and women, undocumented immigrants who are marrying a U.S. citizen or even a green card holder, or sometimes they think they're marrying them. The person could be married to somebody else and you don't even know about it. And in that marriage, you become abused. You become a victim of domestic violence or verbal or financial abuse, right? And this person wants nothing to do with legalizing you, doesn't want to legalize you. VAWA allows you to legalize on your own. In 3 categories you have to prove for VAWA. You have to prove this was a real marriage by showing joint documents. You have to prove that the abuse was extreme and happened. Like, anything physical is definitely abuse. Anything where they manipulated you, emotionally abused you. You had to go to the psychologist because of the trauma. They threw you out. They blackmailed you with food, money, your status, anything like that. It's abuse, and you can win. And the third thing is good moral character, which means you have to give them a police clearance from your country. For some people who are here not that long, for people who are in America for a long time, the local place where you live, you need to get a police clearance from there. Also, of course, secondary proof of good moral character is if you go to church or synagogue or mosque or any community or religious organization, that helps. But the first thing for good moral character is a police clearance from where you lived more than 6 months. That's what VAWA is. And people never even heard of it. Many people on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. So if you guys never heard of it, that's what VAWA is for. VAWA, Violence Against Women and Men Act. All right, I'm going to start answering some of these questions to move this along. And if it's on YouTube or Facebook, I can highlight it on the screen. TikTok, I can just read out loud. Navjeet says, hello. Hi, how are you? Navjeet also says, congratulations on live chat. If you're you're absolutely tremendous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning from Temita Joseph. Hi, good morning. I'm going to do some people from TikTok. How are you doing? Maxwell, we already talked. I'm doing well. Thank you. Okay, I was going to talk about this question from Varik 36300 is, Tell me about the asylum interview. He's waiting for 3 years. I've talked about this before, but please, this is such an interesting topic. I'll say it again. Despite any logic that you might have, immigration doesn't use logic. And for people who file for asylum, they're using a very old system. Again, Trump brought it back, called last in, first out for scheduling asylum applications. What does that mean? It means whoever filed most recently, the newest ones, go first on top of the line. So I'm going to just show you visually. Imagine this is the line right here. Here, I'm going to have a ruler. Okay. This is the line of everybody waiting for asylum. The person who files last jumps right on top of the line, and this moves down. The person who filed first, the earlier people, always are moving down. So they're taking people from here, moving them up. People from here are moving down every time. You understand? So the older is your application, the longer you're waiting in this line. The more recent is your application, the higher you are here, the faster you're moving. So it's like this part is moving up, and the middle and lower part are moving down. Meaning, if you are lucky enough to file right now, you're going to get your interview within like 30 days from filing. If you filed in 2017 or 3 years ago as this person from TikTok, you're moving closer and closer to the bottom, not to the top. That means your interview is going to be more and more and more delayed. Makes no sense. And I have to take 5 minutes to just explain this last in, first out system. But basically, it's like this: last in, first out. And if you're on the bottom, you're moving down. You're more delayed. And so that's what's going on with anybody who's waiting for asylum. You're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting, and there's nothing we can do. There are exceptions. Like, for example, God forbid you get really sick or you have some psychological breakdown, and your doctor gives you a letter saying you cannot wait anymore. You're getting sick from waiting. Then we can try to expedite. If there's an emergency, like if your kids are still in your home country and something is happening and they need to leave, we can try to move you along. I cannot promise. I don't know how to help you immigrate from your country. And I get a lot of those questions, and I feel for you guys, but I cannot help with creating some way for you to immigrate. I'm sorry. But if you already have a way, like if you have family members who are citizens, or if you have a spouse or children who are U.S. citizens, please call us, schedule a paid consultation with our team, not with me personally, our team. And I pop up in these consultations. You'll get me once in a while. But most times, no, we have at this point like 5 people doing consultations in our office. I personally train everyone. So whoever you talk to is going to say what I would say. And we'll be happy to help. Can I send requests for interview? If you're waiting for asylum, you can, but most likely they'll just ignore your request. Again, from TikTok. My parents got rejected on interview, and this time I'm applying for I-130 again. Do they need additional information? You should call for a consultation. I don't know why your parents were rejected at their visa interview. I'm sorry. So give us a call. Hello, a few people are saying, how long is work permit and travel parole taken now? I've been waiting for months. If you filed for a green card through marriage, for example, or through a family member, and you file for a work permit and advance parole travel document, it could take 10 to 12 months to get it. And the interview for your green card is going to be even longer. Mr. Temitoper Joseph says, hi, Shepelsky, hello. Nice picture. Bhavin Patel says, we filed VAWA on August 10, 2021 under the C9 category. When I get work permit, 10 to 11 months from filing. Some people even a year. Alexis says, can I talk about the youthful offender exception? I assume you're asking me for people who are filing for green card or immigrant visas, and they have a crime. They committed a crime when they were very young. So it depends on who you get. Some people might say, well, it happened long ago. You don't even need a waiver. You were under 18. maybe this doesn't even matter. For some other more serious crimes, they might ask you to submit an I-601 waiver. Give us a call to discuss your specific case. I don't know what happened. Zulika says, good morning, happy Friday. TJF, happy Friday. I'm so happy. I'm going to rest this weekend. I'm going to do yoga. I came back to doing yoga. So I used to do 3-4 times a week yoga with a trainer or in the studio, but because I had COVID, I had no energy for like 2 months. And now I'm back to yoga. I might post a yoga video on TikTok. Beware, you'll see my big butt in yoga pants. Don't be afraid. It's fine. I think nowadays big is beautiful. So I'm hoping that you guys will forgive to see things like that. Okay. Can a request to expedite a pending asylum interview jeopardize admission? No, it should not. No, you can request to expedite, and it's not going to affect anything. Venice says, hello, ma'am, from India. My God, this picture you have is so beautiful. Taj Mahal with beautiful flowers. It's my dream to go to India. It's just like for me to fly from America to India, where I live on the East Coast, is probably like a 24-hour flight. And I would have to break it up into two. So I would have to plan like 4 days just to fly there and back. And then another probably at least 10 days to travel around. India is huge. And I really want to spend time there, and I have to get all the shots. So I'm planning to do it, but maybe a little bit later in my life, like in a year or two. Cash says, Grand Rising. Good morning, I guess. Manjeet on YouTube says, hi, Marina. Great to hear you again. Thank you so much. My husband filed I-130 for me on June 2nd of January 2022. So just like 2 weeks ago, while we both are in U.S. He's a permanent resident. How long it will take to approve it? 2 years, I think. 2 years for a green card holder who files for a spouse right now. Okay, somebody from TikTok says, hi, please, when will I get my I-1551 permanent residency? That's the green card. I just had my conditional for 24 months. So you have your 2-year conditional green card, and you file for removal of conditions. That should take about 3 years now. But the good news is you have your status as a permanent resident all this time. But the new green card is not going to be here for, let's be conservative, 2.5 to 3 years is taking now. And these are official waiting times. You could just go on uscis.gov, click on processing times, find I-751 removal of conditions on the list, and see how long it takes. It takes about 3 years now. Again from TikTok, Kali, ma'am, Mrs. Ford says, keep doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. How much do I need in my account to fully invite my brother for 3 weeks to visit from Africa? Enough that he can stay here and pay for the tickets back and forth, I think. Fibin says, what do you think about what's going on in Ukraine? Guys, I'm from Ukraine. I'm an immigrant like you. I was born in Ukraine. I came here in 1989. I was 12. It's terrible what's going on in Ukraine. It's terrible what's going on in Kazakhstan. Russia is not even shy about the fact that they straight up invaded. They invaded both of these countries. And they're going to control them because both of these countries have resources that are great and Russia wants. And they're moving towards what Soviet Union used to be like. Russia on top and all these smaller countries under Russia being controlled by them. It's terrible. I'm really upset about it. I don't know what we can do from here. I see that America sent some not NATO troops, and we'll see where that goes. I don't know. It hurts me a lot. It hurts me. Thank you for your information. Thank you. Let me keep going with my YouTube comments here. Hello, ma'am, from India. Oh, I did this one. Good morning, Marina, says Joanne. Coming straight from Queens. Hey, a fellow New York person. Hi, I love Queens. I go there frequently, sometimes with my kids. Odu Jafar says, hello, Marina, and I love this picture you have. JJ says, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, by the way, guys. If I haven't seen you yet this year, Happy New Year. To Russian-speaking people like me, I'm Russian-speaking because I grew up in Ukraine, and anybody from Soviet Union speaks Russian. So as do I. To us, New Year's is like Christmas here. It's a big holiday. We have a tree. We had gifts. It wasn't religious. It was just a secular, regular holiday. I love New Year's. My kids love it. We do gifts exchange. We have a tree. So Happy New Year to you all. Can I file an I-160A and get an I-601A and get a waiver to dismiss my offense of overstaying due to COVID and to remain in the U.S. to return to my country? Can my aunt assist me with this? It depends, JJ, what you are filing for. The waiver by itself is usually not done. It's usually part of filing for a green card. So, I mean, the answer is yes, you can, but it's not going to be accepted if you're not filing for something else. Hello, Marina. How are you? Says Venice Kumar. Hi. Odu says, please, how long it takes to get an interview for marriage-based green card in New Jersey and New York? New York, a little bit longer, like 1.5, one. I just got somebody a green card who filed during the pandemic. So let's just say that. It took them 1 year and 9 months. New York, Brooklyn, okay? New Jersey is a little quicker, 1.5 years. So 1 year and 6 months. If you're in New Jersey, 1.5 years. If you're in New York, about 1 year and 9 months. Jana or Jana Lee says, what is VAWA case denied? What if your VAWA case got denied? What to do? It depends. Sometimes we file a motion to reopen or to reconsider if it's timely, if you're still within the time frame. If there's nothing we can do with the old case. Somebody just came to me for a consultation this week from Nigeria, and their case was denied. And they came to me, and the case was denied for something really technical. They just didn't send the police clearance. Why? Because they didn't have a lawyer. They had some paralegal help them. And the request for evidence said, send proof of good moral conduct or good moral character. They didn't know that means you have to send them a police clearance. They didn't know. So they didn't send it. They sent affidavits from friends that this is a good person, moral, they're a good moral person. But that's not what it is. You needed to send a police clearance, and the VAWA was denied because of it. But because it was last year, and instead of filing the motion to reopen, like the instructions say, so the denial decision has instructions what to do if you think it's not right that they denied it, and you have some time to appeal it. They tell you what form to file. They tell you it's called a motion to reopen or reconsider. And this person didn't do that. They did an appeal, which is a different procedure. And so they missed the time to appeal, to really appeal the first one. They did the appeal. The actual official appeal got denied. They said, you didn't use the right form. You did the wrong procedure. And now it's too late. And I said, we have to refile. So this is another option. We just file a brand new VAWA petition. If you have proofs that the marriage was real, so bills together, tax returns together, 2 names on them, phone bills together, trips together, insurance policies together, leases, subleases together, bank statements, credit card statements, Costco cards, things like that together, plus proof of abuse, like your friends will write the letters, you need to go see a psychologist. He had nothing, this guy from Nigeria. He didn't have any of this, and I turned him away. I don't take every client. We don't take everybody. We only take people where we can help. So that's what happened. Taburnak Kukok says, hi, how about if a person has a deportation order and they want to go back to their home country and they're going to hold them in airport? No, if you're leaving and you have a deportation order, you basically just get on an airplane and you go. Nobody's going to bother you. I promise you. You're a citizen of another country. You're leaving. No one's going to stop you. They're going to let you go if you have a valid passport. All you need to leave, if you want to leave and you have an old order of deportation, you basically make sure you have a valid passport. It's not expired. And you go get on a plane and you go. No one is going to come to you, bother you, ask you anything. Okay, I have more questions from TikTok. People are saying hello, good morning. Okay. Please, where in New York are you located? I'm in Brooklyn at Avenue U. You can Google Shepelsky Law Group or Marina Shepelsky. We're on Avenue U in Brooklyn. How long will it take for VAWA work permit? VAWA work permit, we file under adjustment of status, C9, it takes about 10 months. What about withholding of removal from the state? If you have withholding of removal, you already have a work permit. If you want to file VAWA and you win, you can reopen your old deportation. Hey, says Han. I filed for I-485 since 2018, but I still have not been called for an interview. So Olamide Dead Jumok. Okay, you've been waiting for really long, almost 4 years, for your I-485. Something is wrong. Something is fishy. Give us a call for a consultation. We can try to figure out what happened and then start making the inquiry with USCIS. That's too long. It shouldn't take that long. Removal and cancellation file, 16 years, U.S. citizen daughter. Case 2016, no interview, 2 times work permit. Okay, so this is Pinta Cricket, filed for asylum after being in the United States, having a U.S. citizen daughter. He's been waiting, or she's been waiting since 2016, and it's an asylum case. That's why it's stuck like all the other cases that I was talking about. So, other than just waiting, I don't have much suggestions for you. I'm sorry. Last in, first out. Remember? Last in, first out. Oh, on YouTube, Bad Radin Zemuri says, how about request for healthcare workers? Okay, this is also in the news. Anybody who has an expiring work authorization, EAD, and you already filed to renew it, it's less than 30 days left on it. So your original one is expiring 30 days or less, or expired already. It's already expired. And you are a healthcare worker, which means you work with doctors, or you drive a truck that has to do with delivering something to a medical office or a pharmacy, a manufacturer of anything medically related. You call USCIS with your case number for the I-765 you filed for renewal, and you ask them to expedite your case because you're a healthcare worker. You do this by phone. Be prepared with paperwork to email them proof that you're a healthcare worker, or even that your job has to do with anything remotely, even if you are in computers and you have a client that does 1 client out of 10 healthcare, you can qualify. So there's that. Okay. On TikTok, does the new law of work permit application apply to the renewal of expired work permits? No, it does not. If you had a work permit before, just keep renewing it. The new law that Trump made does not apply to renewals. Hi from New York. Hey, please. I filed for I-35 since 2018. Oh, I discussed this. 2018 filed. Ma'am, MVC, how long they take? It depends on the case type. Hey, I want to do my citizenship. I have 10 years green card, but I never filed income tax. Okay, if you have a job and you worked and you just didn't file your income taxes, you need to file for the last 5 years. You probably will have to pay some small penalty, but it's not a big deal. And you file them and you file for citizenship. It should be fine. Ma'am, I applied for I-765 310 days ago. Now, how long it takes? Sometimes it takes a year. I'm sorry. Hi, I went twice to I-130 interview, but no decision yet. It's almost 9 months. You have to make an inquiry. You go on uscis.gov. You do my case information. You put in your case number for the I-130. You look what's happening. If nothing is happening, you make an inquiry right on the bottom of that. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here. I don't have time for more questions. Thank you very much for your questions. And if you'd like, you can get the answers to your questions by calling our office at 718-769-6352. On TikTok, my number is in my bio. On YouTube and Facebook, it's on the bottom of the screen. I wish all of you a wonderful weekend. I'm going to wrap up here. Have a great weekend. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy, please. And we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Bye-bye.